Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone tuning in and everyone on the live stream. It's Tuesday. It's time for another Rive live stream. We have, I don't say this often, jam-packed episode today. I mean, it is at least 20 minutes of solid stuff.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with the review from last week. We didn't have a workshop last week, but we did have Pedro's working session where he showed us how to create a rig and arm. So let's check that out.
Okay, I'm going to
Take it
share the
away.
screen. Okay, I'm staying here. Okay, perfect. In the creative session of last week, we made this art, this rig for an art, and it was an advanced rig because we made all these controls to have the ability to not only to turn the art, but to make a different shape. For example, we could change this, and for example, I'm going to rotate this. But then we have the ability, for example, to make these shapes. So it was not only the, okay, here, for example, not only the tear of the R, but even the shape. And here we add this little detail, is in red because it's so we can see it, to add like a trim path hack. So we can make even the line going inside the R. So in the creative session, we saw the different steps to go from just the sketch to the final art. And you can see it is on YouTube in our channel. So it's about one hour and 10 minutes, I think. And I explain the full process. And this other thing that we explain is how to make two different shapes by separating the color and the line could intersect and make only one shape. It's a simple trick, but a very useful one when we want to join the different pieces of an art and make just one shape.
Wow, that's super cool.
Awesome. Yep.
If you missed it, make sure you go check it out on YouTube. The replay is up there, I'm sure. All right, so that was last week. We're now on to this week, and we've got Gordon going with the creative session on Wednesday. It's his first creative session, but it sounds like it's going to be a fun one. Gordon, what are you going to be doing on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm gonna be making a little bit of a game. So some of you may know there's a game engine for Flutter. It's called Flame, and recently the Google team made a whole video tutorial series on creating your first Flame game. So let me actually just share my screen and I can give a sneak peek of what we'll be making. And yeah, it should pop up now. So to the left, this is like what's the Flutter team's tutorial is to use these asset images. So Dash and Sparky, they're just normal sprites, and they have like you have different versions of them. And Michael was awesome, and he made RoboDude.
Ooh.
And yeah, RoboDude is an interactive Rive animation, and he has a few different states. And yeah, so if you play, this is like the version that the Flutter team made, where, as you can see, it's just different images. Let me just Flutter reload. And if we select a RoboDude, you can see it has a little bit of animations, and depending on if we get a power up, you'll see he has like different animations playing when we pick up this power up here.
Woo.
The helicopter hat.
Nice.
So sweet.
And I'm cheating now. I made a cheat in the game so that you can just like jump faster.
I like it.
I'm trying to find a rocket. If we can't find one in 10 seconds, I'll stop. But yeah, the rocket animation is really awesome. So maybe tune in for the live stream to see if you can if we
I
can
wanna
find
see
a
that
rocket
rocket.
then, and then you can see the final animation, its final form.
Oh,
Wow,
Very
cool.
Love that.
All right, well, make sure you tune in on Wednesday to check out that live stream with Gordon. And yeah, that's gonna be. Wait. I said last week we didn't have a workshop. We did have a workshop last
Yeah,
week.
I was gonna correct you.
Wow. Wow. I'm something, I'll tell you. We did have a workshop last week. What did we go over last week? I forgot. Oh, interactive forms. That's right.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
I think we all forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that you said, Robert. This is the only one you ever need to watch.
I mean, I was just going to say that. It was so important. I forgot about it. Like,
yeah.
it's like when you have an important date or something and it's super important, but then you forget and it's like 20 minutes before and you freak out and you got to make. Anyways, that's what this was like. Interactive forum workshop. Check it out from last week. We had a lot of cool forums in there. A lot of different types of forums. Those are all in the community, so you can check those out. Those are also linked in the description of the video, so you can check them out there as well. And then there was 2 implemented forms from Zach and Gordon. Zach implemented one that was pretty straightforward, and Gordon did some tricky little things with that was Flutter, right?
It was, but you can do it with any of the runtimes.
Yeah, so he broke the file into like 3 different pieces and smashed it all together, and it was super cool.
Like magic.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll share a link. Like
Ooh.
you can play with it online if you want to.
There we go. That's nice. Okay, so perfect. There's the link. So if you want to check that out, you can. Okay, now that was it for last week. And we've already talked about everything that's going to be happening this week. There won't be a workshop this week, but the following week, we will be doing a workshop on swipe interactions. I think we're going to be building a to-do list. What are we doing?
Yes.
Is that what we're building? Yeah, to-do list. So
Yeah.
we will be talking about swipe interactions, and Zach will be implementing those. So be sure to check that out next week, not this week. Okay, that's it for the live stream schedule. Time for the release notes. Now, we had a lot of release notes from last week. First of all, we now have folders in animate mode. So when you create your state machines and your animations, you can organize those into folders now so that you don't have a list of 100 animations when you start getting into these like complicated files and stuff. I think this is a great update. This is one of my favorite ones for sure.
Yeah.
And even one of the best things of that for me is if you have, for example, 10 timelines in one folder, you can delete the folder and you delete all the timelines. So it's very useful when you just
Nice.
want to clean up the file. It's very, very fast for that.
Yeah, I think the folders thing is going to be so nice. I've really been enjoying that one. You can also now copy SVGs straight from Figma into Rive. So no more exporting and then importing. It's all just copy, paste, right into the editor. It's super nice. Has anybody had any experience with this?
Yeah, super
Yes.
easy. Yeah.
Awesome. Some smaller fixes. I mean, well, I say they're smaller fixes, but we fixed the Google and Facebook sign-in for the desktop app, so now that shouldn't hang up. Fixed a problem with the ad blocker not allowing the desktop app to work. The desktop app now uses a default Mac OS menu. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. Gordon, do you know what that means? Zach, do you know what that means?
So because Flutter is like a Flutter app, I think we use a fake menu. By fake menu, I mean it's not like the system menu. So if you open like a macOS app, at the top left, you always have a persistent menu, and that gives you options. Now it just uses more of that native feeling macOS menu for, everything that's in the menu
Sweet.
instead of the Flutter version.
Yeah, I'm a Neanderthal. I use Windows, so I don't know anything about any of that. So I'm just kidding, Windows guys. We're one and the same. It's fine. Okay, we also increased the precision to 3 decimal places when rounding angles, so like on your corners and your rotations. And there was an issue that some of you may have seen, where if you tried to use the cloud renderer with a nested artboard in your main artboard, it would like take out the first frames. What was it, like 1 or 2 frames, something like that?
Yeah, almost a second, no?
Yeah.
I think it was just the first frame. Could be that.
In-
For
in-
me,
yeah.
in the test I made, it was only if I make a sport with PNG sequence, was only
Yeah,
the first
in,
one.
in PNG sequence is only 1 frame, but in MP4 I think it's almost a second. Yeah, it's
Second.
different time, depending of the format, but it's fixed now. So
Yep.
yeah,
It's all good. So
doesn't matter now.
go back to cloud
If you
render.
don't know what we are talking about, it's better. But if you know the problem, it
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore. Yes.
Yep. So no worries. Cloud renderer is fixed. So get out there and render some things in the cloud. Okay. We don't have any announcements for this week. As always, there's things on the Sunometer that are very soon and not so far away. If you've been here the past couple of weeks, you know what those things are. If not, we've got the Windows desktop app. We've got the Mac OS runtimes. It's soon. Okay. Very soon. But we will let you know when those are actually out. So if you want to actually also stay up to date with everything, make sure you join the Discord. There's a lot of announcements that go up on Discord. In fact, if you're in the Discord, then you already knew all the stuff I was talking about with the releases anyway. So, you guys are ahead of the curve. All right. So that's it for releases and announcements this week. Let's move on and look at some nifty little community animations that we've been seeing pop up recently. Discord link. That's a good point. I should do that.
Something that just came to mind. Sorry, Robert, I should have mentioned this as
go
an
for it.
announcement. There was an issue since Flutter 3.7. So if you were using the Flutter runtime, you may have received that the app would crash in debug mode, and that was due to a mathematical operation issue in Flutter, and that's now resolved. So if you're on the latest Flutter version, you shouldn't run into issues. I think, Michael, you actually, the first time you used Flutter, that happened for you.
I mean, I'm going to say that's what the issue was, and that wasn't something on my end. So yeah. Glad that's fixed.
I think it was.
Okay.
It's
I
there
trust
for
you,
Smudgers.
Gordon. I trust you.
All right. Community animation time.
Yep, let's go.
Let's check it out. All right. So the first one comes from Discord. And this user, blip, 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 there we go. Okay, should be safe. All right. This is from the user, oh boy, I don't want to butcher this one. Sasha. Either way, this is a great example of using the mouse tracking to actually adjust bones. It's also got seems like a little bit of inspiration from JC's Get Started button and the dynamic island. I love this. This is great artwork, great interaction, great animation.
It's great.
This is great, yeah.
And very popular. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, I gotta like that. Ooh, and hands up.
Ole, ole.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ole, ole.
So if you're on Discord and you like it, make sure you give this user a thumbs up. I think we did a great job. All right, next one comes from, I think, directly from the community, right?
Yes.
Yep. This one's funny. Here we go. Sharing screen again. Boom.
Oh.
Boop. All right. So
Yeah.
here's what we got. Let me click a button.
So I need to-
Hello. Ooh, I like it. I like the mouse stuff on that. Oh, you can like. Oh my gosh, you can punch him.
Get his cup. Get his coffee cup.
Oh, you got to. You
Hit the
can
cup.
hit the cup.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Poor dude.
Ah, he's so mad.
Oh, and then they hang up on you.
That's hilarious.
I love
At one
that.
point.
Yeah.
Oh my god! All right, here is the link to that one in the chat, so you can go and play with that one yourself. That's a great animation. Who is that from? Animated TV. That's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. These guys are
Studio in
amazing.
London, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's. Oh, that was the only one. I thought I had seen another
Yeah.
one of these.
Okay,
that was-
yeah. You have the link. Yes.
That was a great. That's a great animation. The last one we want to look at is from. I think it's from our very own JC. You want to share your?
Mine?
Yeah. Is it? It's theory, right?
Right.
I thought it was yours. No, that's not yours. Oh my gosh.
No.
Never mind.
lost.
Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. Hang on.
What is the animation?
I don't know. We gotta find it. I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
what are we gonna look at?
It's amazing.
I think an other meeting or something.
No. This is a thing. This is a thing. Oh no. Dang. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna share this one. Are you sure you don't want to? The tree wasn't yours. I thought the tree was yours.
Yeah.
What is?
So it's like an inside joke.
Hang on. Let me send it to you on the clandestine channels. Here we go.
The clandestine.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if you want to share that one or not. I thought it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
of course.
Ah, yeah. Get after it.
Of course.
Why not?
Why not? It's so funny. One moment. I want to share the same.
I just got what it referenced.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, this is a joke, but yeah, you know when the people say that idea about when you cut a tree, wherever you run, the tree follow you. This is the animation to represent that. This doesn't matter where you run, but the tree is follow you. You can spend 1 hour running in any direction, and you never can stop. Only here, so if you try go here and then tuck. This is the thing, so you can try again. Okay, run, no, cluck.
No escape.
The tree knows.
You know, yeah,
I didn't see it went the other way too.
yeah.
I'm not going to say that this was internally tested to make sure that trees will actually follow you no matter which way you run, but I'm also.
You can
gonna
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no.
No. Don't try that.
We
at
don't try
home.
this at home. No. Whoa, dude.
No, you
this
can
quick
try
on
in animation. In
Oh,
animation.
yeah. Fair. Okay, well, I lied. I only had 19 minutes of stuff to go over. So now it's time for questions. Unless somebody else has something fun.
Oh wait,
Interesting. What do you got?
I've got something. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
No, I'm
right.
kidding. I was just gonna try and stretch it out.
We're
Not gonna
it was
do
close.
that.
It was close.
Well, Michael, what about that glowing button?
Ooh. The new button. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to know the secret of that button.
Oh, sorry if it's not
I can
ready to
share
share
it.
yet. Or...
No, it's fine. I shared it to the community, so it's fine. I just need to share the right thing. There.
Yes.
And then we need to add. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this was just there's been just a lot of neat buttons on Twitter lately. I don't know, like whether they're Figma prototypes or people doing them in CSS or whatever. So I've been experimenting with some button ideas. So this one, I think it was inspired by just like somebody had made a card that had like a light ring, like a strip of neon light like running around the outside of it. I was like, oh, that'd make like a cool kind of button idea. So the effect's really neat, but it's just really simple. If we look at the actual setup here, so there's like this button shape in front that's just like a compound shape with like the base rectangle, and then I grabbed some like the button text from Figma and pasted that in, and then just did the reverse direction on these, so it cut it out. And then underneath that, there's a couple. Well, there's this light main layer, and there's a couple different ellipses with radial gradients. And this one's set to color dodge, so it just kind of glows a bit more. So that's a layer. And then there's this light underlayer that's got another screen blending mode with another radial gradient. And then this one's these are actually clipped to the hole, the button hole. Excuse my language.
What was
that? So these are, I guess I could have clipped this whole group, but each of these are clipped to that. So now let's turn everything on, and except for that, we won't turn that on. And then there's this control target that this group and this group are constrained to with 50% strength, and that's to kind of get a little kind of delay follow type thing. And then let me turn this back on and look at the animation itself. There's a cycle color animation that just like those radial gradients just cycle between like pink and purple, blue, and then back to this pink color, and that just loops. And then there's an off animation where these are set to like a low opacity, the light main, and then the one of these are key. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, yeah. So the opacity and then the translation strength.
Okay.
So that's set to 0. And then on the on state, it's set to 50. So when you mouse over it, it kind of eases a bit instead of just like jumping to the location. So that's a neat trick that I think people have asked about that, or how to make it so that when you enter a shape or like do a mouse over region, it doesn't just snap to your cursor location. Yeah. So yeah, you can set up the strength, and then I've just got a little bit of duration on both of those. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, the color loop is in a separate layer, so that way it can just like, no matter, it doesn't like reset. So like you can mouse on it at different points and it'll be a different color because it's not resetting the animation, it's just looping constantly. So yeah, that's the button. So yeah, it's on the community. I'll share the link here in a bit in chat. But yeah, these are really fun experiments. Like I'd recommend checking out. I don't like to use the term design Twitter, but that's what it is. Like there's tons of this stuff, and it's just kind of fun to recreate them or come up with your own spin on stuff like that. So
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, the effect is so great. Yeah.
So just because I don't know much about Twitter, for those of you either follow my Twitter or know me from Twitter, I don't know what's going on Twitter. How do you follow design Twitter? Is that what do you call it, a pound sign? One of those hashtags?
I think it's more like an idea, like design Twitter. But like if you start following a few like designers, like you'll get, so-and-so follows so-and-so, and then you'll get like a tweet from somebody else that they follow. And so you'll just start to get like more designy type posts or tweets or hoots. Was that what we're calling them?
Yes. Yeah. That's the big ones.
You might get a big hoot that comes through.
Yeah.
that's yeah. It's not necessarily. I'm sure there's like what is Twitter have Spaces or I can't remember what they do. But you can like subscribe to like there's a motion design one, and there it's a little bit more like you actually have to like subscribe to it. But yeah, design Twitter is just a general like designers who post stuff and post tips and their thoughts on recent rebrands, which are always fun. But
It's like the rabbit hole for designers or something like
yes, no, it's good. I mean, it's a great. Designers can be opinionated, so you get that, which you'll always have in any community. But it's fun. Yeah, it's.
I didn't know that people shared their opinions on Twitter. I was not aware of that. All right. Well, if we got any questions, we can do those, or we can sit here awkwardly for another 42 minutes. 44 minutes. No, it's 34 minutes. Wow.
It
Yeah,
would be
actually-
like in the robbery movies when they hack the cameras and they put a loop. So and it's just as like this, very very not moving, very static, and a little loop that at some point the guard see that there is a problem in something disappears and it's like, oh, there is a loop. So but so it's like we need to disappear. For example, the plant here is like disappear at some point. Yes.
The starting points of the animation wasn't set correctly to make it.
Who hired this guy? Can't believe he didn't set the first key right. Didn't know about them loopings.
That will be fun too. That they had to hire. It's like there is a lot of specialists and there is an animator in the team.
Yeah.
It's like Ocean 11s and they look for an animator to make the perfect loop.
I wonder if you get those on those kind of job offerings on like Indeed or if you have to like, I don't know how to get into secret Discord channel or something to get an invite to a crew like that.
A heist channel.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something to show, but let me 1 hour first.
1 hour? Okay.
You have 32 minutes.
Now, I'm going to show, this is a very old animation, but we have time, and I think it's interesting. It's an animation I did for Blink. Yeah, it's very old, but I think it's interesting to see. The file is in the community, so you can see there. Okay, I think.
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, so in this file I have 3 examples. Almost is the same animation, but only to explain. You can create the Blink animation in different way, but this is very simple way. Basically, the idea is start with the eye open and close. Here you can see that I close in this first example. I close the eye in 1 frame, and here keep the eyes closed some frames, and then open. And you can see that when I close the eyes have deformation. Here is more bigger here and here. And when open the eyes, you can see that the size change and recuperate. This is the basic, no? Open, close, some frames, and open again, but now is the scale change and recuperate the scale. So you can see here this effect. Very simple. The time to keep the eyes closed depends sometimes the animation. If you want to something very slow, you add more time. Is something the blink is more faster, you add less. But you need some time here, because if you only close in one frame, it's impossible to know this, to see that, because it's too fast. So this is the basic eye. Then I create this. It's the same animation, but the eyes is more complex, but it's the same idea. And here you can see the effect. Open, close, maintain close, and open again with this deformation. It's very smooth. And the last one is the same eye, a little more complex. And here the animation is a little more complex, but the base is the same. Close, but now you can see the animation of close. Okay, it's not only one frame. You can see how the pupil move and the lip move, maintain, and then open, and the animation of recuperation. So this is something interesting to try. Make this exercise, start for the simple eye, understand how it works, and then make something more complex. So yeah, this in the community. So if you want to try, you can try.
Nice.
That's cool.
It's a really nice progression.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Try and discover the different how it works, how you can do it, how you can, if you you create the deformation more bigger or not, if you give more time when the eyes is closed or not, and see the different effect. This is the interesting thing. Yeah.
Xander says you have nice makeup skills, JC. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the eyelashes are. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna. Never mind. The kids don't say that anymore. I think we already went over the things that the kids don't say anymore in our last live stream. So I'll just skip that for now. You know what? Since we don't have any questions coming in from the chat, I have a question for the chat. It's time for role reversal. All right.
Whoa, wait a
yeah,
minute.
ooh,
You didn't
yeah.
tell us you were gonna do this today.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm springing. I got
not ready.
tricks up my sleeve. Okay. First of all, the JC, Michael, and myself are all making tutorials right now. We have tutorials cooking up to post on YouTube coming up. What I want to know from the folks in chat, since a lot of you guys show up pretty much every week, is what do you want to see on YouTube as a tutorial? Like, what are you guys looking for? Or gals, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see how long it takes for that one. Let's see. Thumbs up for tutorial. Yeah. So what do you all want to see for tutorials? That's what I'm curious about. And then I might think of another question in a second.
Can I say one?
Yes.
Nested artboards and blend states.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But together in the same mix, both, you mean, or two tutorials?
In the
Let
end,
me think about it.
Yeah.
like they combine a lot. I think the two things. It's like
Yes.
they are not the same, but have that because for me the nested artboard blending the last workshop we made. This was like the first time I really tried to understand what was going on with that. In the end, it was like combining the two things. It's very, very powerful, but it takes a while to understand. And I think for me that there is a few things I'm sure that I'm missing in some of the blending things. And
Yeah, I see you guys using it. That's why I'm asking because I'm not so familiar with it.
Well, Xander's got some good requests. Complex character rigs / animations. All right, cool. And a general breakdown of how to solutionize based on the type of animation or thing that you're trying to create. So, like, yeah, that makes sense. So the second one's more about best practices. Cool. Oh, you know what? I have a notebook and I have a pen. I'm taking notes. Let's see. More about character rigging. Okay, so another character rigging. Okay, so Xander says kind of understanding how/what to learn given particular problems. All right, cool. These are all great suggestions. Requests, flex, characters. Cool. Solutionize. That's a great word. I'm going to use that more. Based on animation. Okay, cool.
It's interesting because rigging, I think, is something that you can only learn by doing a lot of rigs and
Yeah.
failing a lot. It's
Yeah.
like the more you fail, the more you learn, because it's more of the time that I try to make a rig, it's like I think it's going to work in that way, and in the end, it's the other way around. It's like you have to try it a lot. So I think some tutorials to make the basics, it will be nice.
Yeah.
But later you have to fight a lot with that to find the solutions.
Yeah.
It's
I agree that in rigging is complicated because the rig depend of a lot of things. Depend the character, depend the animation, depend a lot of things. And almost we work with rig for a long time, and we still have a lot of problems when we create the rig because sometimes it's crazy. But yeah, the basic thing I think is this is interesting. The thing that in general you need to do for rings, but maybe we can focus the tutorial in the way to think how solve some problems.
Yeah, I think that
Because-
would be cool.
Yeah, because the problem is a lot. It's impossible in one tutorial explain all the problems you have because some problems we don't know yet. This is the thing. But yeah, I think something more basic help understand all this and a way to solve some problems. I think is yeah. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
one key is what Pedro say: fail a lot to learn. This is the way.
I think to what Pedro and JC both said is that there are. I mean, I'm not an expert character rigger by any means, but there are some things like early on that you want to make sure you do in a certain order. So maybe that's something we can think about is like, don't don't go binding your meshes to the bones until you've got things where you want them.
Yeah.
And like, so some maybe just like the steps are a good thing to talk about. And then things that, like you're going to make it hard on yourself if you do things out of order. Not to say you can't, but there's just some things that are like, okay, like we've had questions come up about why can't I add a bone in between here and why can't I do this? And so I think like just the basic, like here's things you can do to not to not make yourself beat your head against the desk later might be a good way to approach it.
Yeah, one thing is basic. I think for me always is more easy is when you want to create a rig, create the rig that you need. Don't try to create a rig that you can do everything because it's very complex and you need a lot of experience for that. So if your character move one arm, create the rig for this movement and focus in this, and then you can create other things. But yeah, it's simplify the process, the element, because it's more easy. Because only create the rig for the arm is have some problems. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes one of the beginner's problem, I think, is always try to make a more complex rig that you need. It's like this is what GC says is you try to make a rig that makes everything, and you only need that the character do this, and it's like you are doing this and this, and it makes no sense. So sometimes we overcomplicate the task, and it makes no sense because we don't need that. And even in for a professional use, I mean, for something that a project, a lot of time they don't make a rig like that. It's just, for example, in animation when you need to make a rig, sometimes it just most of the time you see first the animatic, the animation you are going to use in that episode or or sword or whatever, and then you only prepare the Rive for the movements that you see in the animate, because you don't need the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, cool. Well, maybe we can come up with something, some kind of tutorial video on that in the future. Oh, look. We're double role reversing today. I have a second question for the chat. All right. So one of the things that I see quite a bit on Twitter, because I mean, listen, I may not like Twitter and I may not use Twitter a lot. I may not interact on Twitter a lot, but I do read a lot of Twitter. Okay. And some of the things that I see on there are an animator will post something and be like, oh yeah, this would be super cool. And then in the comments, there's always someone who's like, no, don't do it. No, you're being mean to your coder. What are some examples of animations that y'all have seen that are mean to the coder? Because I would like to try to make some of those and go through it with either Zach or Gordon to see if it's even a painful process using Rive. I would like to think that it won't be, but I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm always wrong. I'm wrong on a lot of things. My girlfriend tells me I'm wrong all the time, and that I'm never right. I disagree. I think I'm right all the time, but we'll see. I think that was a question. Did I ask a question in that? Yeah, I asked for examples. Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm asking for examples.
I'm not sure like how deep you want to go. Like,
I don't know. Let's go pretty shallow at first.
Are we mean?
I think this will be interesting once there's data binding, because then it's going to be like, you know, the possibilities between code and Rive is a lot more. But maybe then at that point it will be so easy that there doesn't need to be a lot of talk. I don't know.
Ooh, a 360 character rig. That would be interesting. I know we can do that one. That would be an interesting one to do. Let's see. A tutorial on how to not throw things over the fence would be great. How to break up animations, and especially how to pass the work over so that the coder knows what to implement and where. Okay. On how to not throw things over the fence. I mean, just don't throw it. It's like the meme, dude. Just
1 second tutorial.
Yeah.
for today.
yeah. I think those are two interesting ones. All right,
Yes, but for example, this could be just a button tutorial that how you prepare just a button to put something like a link or something, and how to prepare it. I suppose that most of the tutorial will be name everything. I mean, and put names that make sense, like not timeline 1, timeline 2, or so the same thing with the state machines. I suppose it's just that to name everything in the right way, and use some of the things that is normally used in code. Like, I don't know, for example, if the capital letter to use in the make way that the coder is using in the code, so it makes sense with the rest of the code and kind of things. I suppose that will be important. So in the end, it's like making like most of the problems. I think is always the problem is communication. I mean, if you communicate well with the rest of the team, you are not going to have problems with that.
Yeah.
And technically, from like the engineering side, like if you wanted to, you can open it and just rename everything. That shouldn't break, nothing. So, like I think that could be the other approach where it's like a bit more hands-on. or like a predefined, like Pedro said, like you have a consistent naming structure. State machines maybe start with SM dash the name, something like that.
I think this is a. So Xander's kind of expanding on it. It would be good to understand, even as a solely a designer or coder, how all this converts. So when we're naming animations or inputs or listeners, it'd be, I guess, it would be good to know what the coder will see, what they need to know from
Yeah.
a design perspective. I think that's that's an interesting tutorial. Probably pretty short, but I think it'd be good to go over. Like,
Yeah,
all
I
the
think it's
things.
interesting too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
best practice video.
because we talked about this when we were writing some of our use cases, and we weren't going to use the word handoff, and there's things that we were talking about, like what is the benefit of using Rive versus other options. And I think like there are things that we don't need to tell the developer, like duration of an animation, like a transition, like so I think a lot of those things that you would have to communicate and document, like you don't have to, because it's all sitting inside of the Rive. So there's things we can kind of call out too, as like, and I think, Robert, this is what you asked, is like, what are the things that you see on Twitter that's like, why is a developer saying, no, don't do this? Like, what is the information that they have to take or go ask for? So
Yeah.
I think that's a good, I think the hard way and the Rive way is what I would, I mean, assuming it's,
That's a great title.
it's
I'm writing
easier,
that one
right?
down.
Like,
Yeah, I think over time we've kind of, even just internally on our team, when we've made examples, like refined a bit, like how we kind of work name artboards and realize, oh, the name of animations will sometimes make a difference, because at developer time or at runtime, you sometimes need to reference those in order to trigger things at a specific time frame. And one thing I always appreciate whenever I'm working with y'all is, and we do this pretty much every time, is just talk through the state machine, talk about, what inputs we would probably need. Does it need a Boolean? Does it need a trigger? So then, come towards the end of the time, when it's time to kind of bring things from the editor to the app or runtime or whatever, the developer or myself, like, or Gordon, we don't need to just see this huge state machine and then just take like 20 minutes or however long to try and decipher what's going on, because we already have a preconceived idea of, what these things look like.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Actually, like Michael, when you made the Robo Dude, the game, like, I think that was a pretty smooth experience as well, because it was essentially, we hopped on a video call. We looked at what the game does. We looked at like the assets, the sprites. I was like, okay, well, there's a look left, look right. There's a flying. There's a rocket. Maybe we should add a jump. And then it was a quick iteration of like what kind of states did they need to be in, like what they should be named, and should they be booleans, should they be triggers, and
and in the editor, like that's the other thing I love about Rive, is you can prototype like all of this too, like and then you can just, with listeners too, like if I click on the character, what does it do? Or like if I move my cursor over it, does it do something? And those all might need to be translated to code in some way, but at least you have like the visual of how it should work right there, that you can interact with. So I think instead of having to like record a video or like document everything, like you can actually go and play with it and get an idea of what it's supposed to do. So
Yep.
All right, that one's on the list. We've got another one. Also, why do they call it camel case? I don't typically capitalize multiple things. It should be like dromedary case, just the one hump.
because you could have multiple humps.
Nah, I mean, that's fair.
But the kind of similar one, and I didn't know there was a name for it, is when you capitalize the first letter. and then subsequent letters. So like if we had like is looking, camel case is where the first letter I is lowercase, but there's Pascal case, which is where the first letter I is capitalized, as well as the L in looking. I don't know what framework or programming language standardizes that, but I learned that recently.
What is the what's the casing called when you capitalize every like alternating letters? Is that SpongeBob casing? What is that?
I'd call that SpongeBob casing.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Right.
If it's not, it should be.
Yeah. I love
The
doing
sponge
that.
case. Oh man. Okay.
What's the random one? Like, like the actually spelling where it's like lowercase, the capital, then another lowercase, another lowercase. Like it's just we'll call it random. That's the one.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I thought that was SpongeBob casing, but
Yeah, I think that's SpongeBob.
That one's yeah. You need to throw in some. Yeah.
does it have to have the the accompanying meme with it, or is that just implied with this type of casing?
I just read it as it was on the internet.
Okay.
I don't know. Like
Must be true. If it's on internet, it's
Yeah,
That is
of course.
true.
Probably.
Sorry, DK. Always same time, but there's a replay. You can always check it out.
Yep.
Reminder to everybody: make sure if you're not, join our Discord so that you can stay up to date on all the stuff that we're releasing and other things like chatting with people, quick help responses. By the way, if you're in here and you've been helping out on Discord, like as a as one of our community members, we really appreciate that. We really like when we see that folks have learned enough to teach other people how to do stuff.
Yeah.
So keep it up. 2 thumbs up. If I had 3, I'd give you a third one. All right. Well. Ooh, here we go. It's official. We got a question. I'm waiting with bated breath. See, do we have any new features that sit in the category of fundamentals? Good question.
oh, I see.
Would you say that the graph editor is a new fundamental?
Rulers or guides.
Yeah, they mentioned over the last month and a half, so everything since the new year.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
Alignment stuff.
Alignment.
Ah.
Yep.
yes, I suppose the graph editor is the most important one for that.
All right. Maybe we need to do a video on that. I don't think we've done one on the graph editor yet. All right. It's on the list.
Grab your note.
Maybe we should make a new year, new Rive video, just going over the new stuff, maybe.
Yeah, we have a lot now. Yeah.
And I'll do the... Rive doesn't have updates. Well, actually, Rive does have updates. Let me show you those right now. That's going to be the start of the video. Yeah, I'll work on that. I don't think anybody actually says that, though. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I was looking for
Does
it.
Rive even did they even update anything?
I don't
Are there
know.
any
I don't know if
updates ever?
I'm straw manning. I'm just making up a random internet person. I'm sure they exist. I just... Whatever.
Can you even use this app on your computer?
No. This is a Switch only app, only for the Nintendo Switch. Got a stylus.
Well, speaking of, I need to start using my stylus with the Mac app.
Do we have
Okay.
release notes
In
I
Discord.
mean, like the release notes when the software is updated and there is like a
Yeah.
list?
I don't know if those have been added to the editor yet, or if we're just doing those in Discord for the time being.
Oh,
I think it would be cool if we had like a dedicated page with like the history of all the changes, with maybe a quick video if it makes sense to like
Yeah.
talk about a feature.
I agree.
Question.
agree. Oh, this is a good one. This is a dude.
Yes.
Thank you for asking. This is a classic. I haven't answered this one in a while.
Since earlier in the stream.
Yeah. So we've designed this new thing called the Sunometer, and the closer you get to one end, the sooner it is, and the farther away from that end you get, the further away it is. The Windows app is as close to the left side of the Sunometer, so the releasing side, as you can get. It's really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an exact time, but it's definitely closer than the last time you asked. I don't know if you've actually asked before, but yeah, it's not. It shouldn't be too far away.
It's soon. Like,
Yeah, pretty it's soon.
Soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any external resources benefit to using your application? Oh, that's a good one. I think that's a Gordon and Zach question, I believe.
Oh, well, like external in what way? Like,
Maybe like app performance. I'm not sure.
Or integration with other apps.
oh yeah, I understood the question like as like if you didn't want to make an app, like what's the benefit of like learning Rive? But I don't know, Zach, do you have an answer?
I'm still processing,
Yeah,
trying to understand the question.
All right, here's
mine.
Yeah. Maybe he asks.
like pulling resources into the project, or are they like Flash and embedded inside?
Okay.
All right, while y'all ponder this one, here's another one. This one's Ooh, wait. No, hang on. Oh, no, it is this one. Can we link something to trigger at the push of an arrow / a random key? Via a listener? Not yet. This is one of those like listener types that I think we do want to bring, but through code, I can almost guarantee you the answer is yes.
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 All right, back to this one.
Okay, so if the question is like, can you bring in external assets through code into your Rive file directly? If that's one way I'm interpreting this, the answer is not yet, though there has been talks about it because, for example, like imagine you had an image of Robert's face and you add a mesh to that, and like he's like looking, and what would it be cool if we can like just easily swap that with like an image of Laura's face or someone, and yeah, I know that there's been like some talk about like doing asset swapping like that, and that you also then get the benefit of you as the developer controlling what quality resolution image you want to show. Maybe if it's like Rive running on mobile, you have a low res version of the image. If it's running, on Mac OS, then you want a high res version with, better quality. So something like that has been discussed, but I don't know where that is in the Sunometer.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it is on the Sunometer.
It is on the Sunometer because it has been discussed.
all right. Let's put it. All right, I'll put it into context here. So you've got your desktop app, the Windows desktop app. You got text. All right, those are. Oh, and Mac OS runtimes. Those are over here, and this is like probably over on this side, like a little further away. Oh, here you go. Here's,
Oh, sorry.
oh, you got it. Like any assets, for example, an Adobe InDesign page pulls images, etc. So if I can swap the images easily by swapping it out.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, so at runtime, not yet. Like it's part of the Rive file. So like the moment you pass that file and load it, the images get added to memory, and like there's no way for you to hot swap that out with the runtimes yet. In the editor, you definitely can. You add an asset, and if you want to swap that with something, I believe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can just like swap it out for a different image.
What, in the editor?
Like replace the image.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, but no, all the assets you include in the editor will be in the Rive file, and for now, it's not a separate package or asset bundle that you can modify yourself.
All right, sweet. Let's see. More for creation, not the final runtime project.
So then I would say yes, right? Like Laura, you said you can just like say right-click, replace image, and you swap it out for a different image.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are, depending on if the image is static and you haven't done much, like let's say you have a mesh, you've applied a mesh to it, like you're going to have issues if it's not the same
Dimensions.
dimension.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you just, there's also an issue with when you replace an instance of an image, it'll replace it. It's a little different than I think your InDesign example, and maybe that's something we could go over too, like swapping out images in a Rive file and how that works. Because I was trying to do something similar with a set of like cards.
Oh, your
And I
cards.
had,
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
and it was really, I ended up having to bring in all the different images, and it wasn't as straightforward as I thought it would be. But I think that's something that we brought up to the engineers, and it's something that would be nice to be able to just like, I want to swap this particular instance of this image with another one, but not have it replace, like if I've duplicated it, I don't want it to replace all the other instances of that image. So, because the only way you can replace, the reason that's an issue is the only way you can do that is in the assets panel. So you can't go and select on it in the editor on that image and replace it. You have to go to that asset panel and replace it, and that'll update every iteration of that asset will get updated on your artboard. So.
Yep. All right. Well, I think it's time. It's time to go. It's time to finish out the Tuesday for Gordon, Pedro. It's time for y'all to go get some dinner, maybe watch a
Some
movie.
Valentine dinner.
Oh yeah, Valentine's dinner. All right. What's everybody doing for Valentine's Day? If you want to share anything, dinner.
dinner.
All right, perfect.
What are you doing, Robert?
Dinner.
Dude, dinner. And then
Dude.
I think Harry Potter Legacy. Like, I think. And I'm going to finally get around to watching Last of Us. So it's like, together time. And then I'll go watch TV and she'll play Harry Potter. This is the perfect Valentine's Day, dude.
Sounds over.
Wait, it's Valentine's Day. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
My wife's birthday too, and our anniversary, and
No way. Is it a
I'm
triple?
just,
Wow.
I'm just pretending like I forgot all of those things,
Oh
and
my
it's
goodness.
they all are on the same day, and I'm
The
worst
pressure.
person.
There's pros and cons to that. You can knock them out all at one time, or if you forget, that's a big screw up day. So yeah, mark this one down on the calendar. You can never forget this day. Okay, everybody. Well, enjoy your Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day for everybody who's, doing something. Yeah. You know what? All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Join Discord.